The audacity of the globalists to manipulate data, to push a point or push a person. The deplorables, this is by Matt Drudge. He posted this about 20 hours ago. The deplorables are starting to wonder if the government has been lying to them about Hurricane Matthew intensity to make exaggerated point on climate. Okay, that's a little off. Where's your evidence? Hurricane Center has monopoly on data. No way of verifying claims. The ground observations did not match statements. 165 mile an hour gusts? Where? And of course he continues, don't blame Mother Nature or God, blame mankind. Now, we did a post a couple days ago about the skull that was within the Hurricane Matthew. There's a lot of questions surrounding that skull, number one, and the people who are pushing the data. Now, of course, Drudge is being attacked for these statements by popular science and as well as other, mainstream media type organizations. As Hurricane Matthew charges into Florida with winds up to 140 miles an hour, approximately 1.5 million people are preparing to clear out of the storm's path. By Thursday evening, the National Weather Service was imploring residents to head to safety. And I can't believe Shep Smith from Fox News was telling everyone everybody's going to die if it goes 20 miles an hour, 20 miles inward. Now that being said, you have all this. Hillary blames hurricane on climate change and says Trump, totally unfit to protect the USA from the threat of climate change. You know what's really interesting? A lot of people want to just leave this in America's hands. And what I'm saying is, a lot of people are just pointing to the election as this is a big deal for the election. I told you yesterday in the video we did on the how the lazy person, the sofa superstar, can affect or can help with climate change. Unbelievable. Because guess what? The Paris Agreement was just signed on October 5th, 2016. Now, if Drudge is at all anywhere near being correct, which typically the facts are different than what the mainstream media and everybody else is trying to push, then this entire hurricane was meant to get this agreement through and to push Hillary Clinton for president. On October 5th, 2016, well, wait a minute. When did Haiti actually really get hit by Matthew? Because they're going to use Haiti as the biggest point, obviously, before it hits Florida. This was posted on October 4th. Hurricane warning in Florida after Matthew strikes Haiti as strongest hurricane in 52 years. You know, I reported not too long ago that the United Nations will own the globe by November 2016. Guess when the Paris Agreement goes into effect? November 4th, 2016. More than 30 countries, including the US and China, have sold the planet Earth to the global elitists. In a sweeping power play, the United Nations will own the climate globe by the end of November 2016. Multiple barriers stood in place and gave way for countries to disembark the plotted climate change agenda. However, over 30 countries around the world sold the globe to the cabal, effectively paving the way for total climate control. At the UN General Assembly in New York City, September 2016, two things happened. Let me stop reading for a second. Number one, United Nations officially adopted the agenda for a new global human order and announced that, guess what? It's a communist organization. And number two, 31 more nations confirmed their ratification of the Paris Agreement, which began in December 2015. This is key, because anything that is happening on the world stage, it is most likely, as far as agreements and things go, as far as their agenda goes, it's not happening instantaneously. It takes time for them to get all this through. The new Secretary General is a socialist. We covered this yesterday as well. It's going to take 5 or so years before they really start pushing the communist agenda. The agreement paves the way for climate control, not change. The Paris Agreement plan is to limit global warming to a maximum of 2 degrees Celsius, or 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And to use a different source to show you it's communism. It's freaking communism. How do people not understand the deception? It is communism all the way around. United Nations Climate Chief Cristina Figueres said that democracy is a poor political system for fighting global warming. Communist China, she says, is the best model. Okay, wait a minute now. Wait, hold on. Let me slow down. Communist China is the best model for fighting climate change and global warming. The Paris Agreement was just totally accepted. It's totally going to be pushed through all the way around on November 4th, 2016. Communism for our climate begins on November 4th, 2016. What does that mean? It means the UN is pushing communism. It's a total control system. And Matt Drudge just pointed out the facts. The Hurricane Center has monopoly on data. No way of verifying claims. The ground observations did not match statements. 165-mile-an-hour gusts. Where? Why is that important? Because if they have lied about the data, at this time period, there were other nations who signed on during this particular hurricane. Which means the manipulated data, the fear from mainstream media, is a part of the reason why this agreement went through. It's part of the reason why a lot of Americans probably just jumped ship from Trump into Hillary's camp, if you want to call it that, or into Hillary's boat. Because Donald Trump supposedly doesn't believe in climate change. Now, you all know my opinion on voting. Do your research. That's all. Enough said. Hillary Clinton, another threat to our country is climate change. 2015 was the hottest year on record, and the science is clear. It's real. It's wreaking havoc on communities across America. You want to know what climate change or the Paris Agreement or they own the globe looks like? Have a look at weather modification. Have a look that they actually admit that they're going to chemtrail us to death. Scientists claim geoengineering is the answer to climate change. Meanwhile, nanoparticles are already found in our brains. This is science for you. This is scientific fact. It's not me making up something or so on and so forth. The hysteria surrounding climate change will now set the stage for a full frontal legal assault brought on by chemtrails and geoengineering. Meanwhile, while the debate rages on surrounding the legitimacy of chemtrails, for the first time, magnetic nanoparticles were discovered embedded in human brain tissue. I wonder where they came from. The nanoparticles from chemtrails, not pollution, are directly linked to Alzheimer's disease, an array of other brain health issues. However, according to Wikipedia, mainstream news, and your local weatherman, chemtrails are still a conspiracy theory. Even though, in reality, they are factual and are happening all around us. So factual, in fact, the United States government has patents for them. So factual, in fact, that the Florida government is using a form of chemtrails to douse Miami with pesticides. Chemtrails are no conspiracy theory. Now, according to scientists, it's time to use weather modification or geoengineering to stop climate change directly in its tracks. Geoengineering is broadly split into two categories: carbon dioxide removal, CDR, or albedo modification, often called solar radiation management, or SRM, or solar geoengineering. Albedo modification seeks to reflect a small fraction of sunlight back into space to cool the planet. The principle is simple. It is the same reason we wear white in the summer and black in the winter. Lighter colors reflect sunlight and cool what's underneath. Darker colors absorb it, and so on and so forth. There are several proposed albedo modification technologies. The two most important ones are marine cloud brightening and stratospheric aerosol injection. What does that mean? It's called chemtrails. That's exactly what it is. Oh, we'll just give it the official terminology of stratospheric aerosol injection. You want to know what climate change and global warming and all that crap looks like? Here you go. Stratospheric aerosol injection. And the CIA admits it. On October 5th, the United Nations announced that it owns the globe. It goes into effect on November 4th, 2016. Globally. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, the United Nations can now officially alter our climate. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, that every little push, just like what they're doing with Hurricane Matthew, is an attempt to sway the mindsets of the masses towards Hillary Clinton, and of course, to their agendas. Because if they are allowed to alter our climate, there is no going back. During the first Cold War, there were plenty of rumors and so on and so forth of weather warfare. Except now, it's not country versus country with weather warfare. It's the United Nations and their communist agendas basically modifying our weather while we suffer the consequences, and they'll just tell us we're not doing enough to stop it. It's been going on for years. It is only now coming to a head to where anything that happens within the climate has to line up with the United Nations framework or agenda. Welcome to the New World Order. A lot of people are saying it's being built right now. And guess what? It is. Time to wake up. That's all I got for you. Check out the website. I cannot post a lot of this stuff on YouTube. I'm not allowed to by YouTube standards. Look, other people are going to say, you can post that stuff if you want. Who cares? I'm not going to take the risk of losing my channel because some stupid kid is offended. As you all know with the YouTube Heroes program. So that being said, please sign up for the website. We have a free section. We have our unlimited section. You can get all the emails that you need from us to you for free just by going to the website and signing up. Get this out. Share it around. That's all I got for you. God bless and carry on.